What do I have here? A hair. Of course I have a hair there. Because why wouldn't I? Now I want to go funky. Well, hello my lovely nestlings and welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm 44 from the Netherlands, hence the accent. And today, 3 looks, and at the end of the video I give you my thoughts on the Lucky Bunny Envy palette. I swatched her in my first impression. I will leave the video underneath the cards, but let me tell you, I think I forgot to mention a lot of stuff about this brand in my first impression. Lucky Bunny is a new brand from Australia. The palette retails for 35, we'll say 35 Australian dollars. If you want to know what it is in your currency, just look it up on the internet. That is what the internet is for, among other things. For me it was around 20 euros, so not a bad price at all. I did a total of 3 looks in this video. Timestamps will be down in the description box, and at the end of the video I give you my thoughts and tell you if it is worth the money. During the looks video, or during the looks, I also give you some tips, or at least I think I do. Yeah, I do. So I did 3 completely different looks, and I hope that I can show you the versatility of this palette, because I think she's very versatile, but I will touch on that a little bit more at the end of the video. I know that there is another lady here on the YouTube who did a first impression with this palette as well. I will leave her video down in the description box. She is, I think, affiliated with the brand, or she at least has a discount code with the brand. So I will leave that in the description box as well. Go check her out and hear her thoughts about it. And yeah, if you want to know mine, just either click on the timestamp or just watch all 3 looks first. Just watch all 3 looks first, because I think they're very cutesy. Was that everything I wanted to say? I think so. Let's just, I don't know, without further ado, grab a drink, grab a snack, put your feet up, because here comes look number 1. Look 1. And I kinda, I'm not going to go row by row in this one, but I do know at least the mattes that I want to use in the first look, because I want to try this one again. I used this one in my first impression, but I kind of want to try it a little bit differently. So I'm going to start with this color actually today, which is called Bambi. So let me get some brushes. So let's start with a bigger brush. This is the Refer 15, and I'm going to start with this shade called Bambi, and it's going to go on my eye. My base is very sticky because it's still pretty warm here, so that's why I'm starting with a bigger brush. So I am kind of going to set my base, as you see. Now I also kind of switched to another eyeshadow primer. I'm using the Smashbox one, the light, because it's a little bit of a drier formula. Because if I use anything too hydrating now, it won't stick. Just saying. I'm going to go to a smaller brush next, which is, yeah, let's use the Morphe E33. Still the same color. And I'm concentrating this more on the inner part and underneath my eye. Not that you really see it underneath my eye, but that's okay. Okay, now I want to go to the shade called Lola. Let's start in the outer corner and let's see what she does on the set base. It's way better. So right off the bat I can see that I can blend very nicely. Yeah, way better. I still have to work for it a little, but it's not bad. Going back to the color Bambi, same brush, just to blend out that edge a little bit more. Okay, now I'm going to intensify the color a bit, and this is the way that I love to work with shades like this. So now I'm going to go to my Morphe, not Morphe, did I say Morphe for this one as well? This was the Sigma. This is also a Sigma, it's the E27. I'm going to go into the same color, and I'm going to intensify everything a little bit. Okay, let me get a big fluffy clean brush to go. What I want to do is that shade Bambi I want to have on my lid as well, but I kind of need to carve out a semi-cut crease, and I don't want to use concealer because that's too wet. I think that if I use clear one from Revolution it will be kind of too wet as well, so I'm going to try it with the Smashbox one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do that on the back of my hand, the Smashbox primer. Then I'm going to take my brush And I'm going to do the same thing I would with my glitter primer. So the idea is to kind of carve a nice line as far as I can. Clean up a little bit. Make sure that the shadow has something to stick on, whatever. I'm going to pack on the shade called Bambi. Which goes on really nicely. It's almost the same color as the lid primer, which is okay. I knew that. And it is basically, it's a little darker than my own skin tone, so you get a nice effect, you know. I want a pop of green. Yes. So I'm going to grab a pop of green brush. I'm going to go to the color called Chastity. It's going to go in the inner corner. I don't know about eye pencil yet, so that's why I'm doing it like this. I actually think I want a nude eye pencil. I'm going to bring it a little bit, tiny bit on top of the, fading it on top of the eyelid. Cute. Okay, I'm going to go to the shade called Lola again. But this time I have a quite a pointed brush. I'm dipping in lightly. Because I just kind of want to extend this a bit. What I'm going to do now is eyeliner and mascara. And then I will be back to show you the look, well, basically after the liner and mascara. I don't really even need an eye pencil, but yeah. So yeah, here is the look before the falsies. I quite like it. Yeah, the liner was a little bit thicker than I had planned, but stuff happened. So yeah, let me put on my falsies, choose a lippy, and then I will be back to show you the completed look. Yay, no lips. Everything is on. Here is the final look. I really like it. I paired it with the most natural falsies that I have, which are from Catrice, the hashtag InstaVolume. They are like the Ardell Demi Wispies, but better quality and cheaper, so that's always good. And the lippy I paired it with is an I Heart Revolution lip gloss in the color Honeycomb. It's one of their chocolate lines. No lips, no lip liner, nice and simple. I really like this look. I feel really cutesy. So yeah, let me know down below what you think of it, and let's get ready for look number 2. Look 2, and it's going to be green, but I kind of want to play here with the murkier greens a little bit. I am, however, going to start with not bumping the camera, with a brighter green to kind of set the base first. So I think I'm going to pull in, let's start with the color Trinity, which is a pretty light green, to kind of set the base a little bit. I'm just going to tap this color on and then blend out to kind of create, well, basically a base layer. Okay, with the brush that I have, it does not really matter. I'm going to go to the color called Jade. Let's deepen everything up. I pick up quite a lot. The brush I'm using now is a Refer 14. It was basically because I had it in my hand. That is it. I'm dipping in constantly, just slowly, to slowly build up the pigment and the color that I kind of want. But it blends out very nicely. So it's like the shade Lola that I used in the previous look. I thought it would be. I think this is just easier to work with on a set base. So either set your base with powder, or like I'm doing now with a lighter shade. It does not even need to be green, it could also be yellow. Wow, blends out very nicely. Again, on top of a set base. Now I also have to say, today it's colder here. So the room I'm filming in now is, I think, I don't know, 6 degrees colder than yesterday, if it's not 10. So I'm not sweating. My eyelids are kind of back to normal. and that also means that the base that I have underneath sets pretty quickly. So probably I wouldn't even have to knead. Wow, I think I could have gotten away this shade using it on a non-set base because it wasn't really sticky anymore. So basically what I want to say, this shade and the shade Lola I think work best on a non-sticky base. The pigmentation is still there, but it just makes it easier to work with. So I'm taking an even smaller brush. I can just be a tiny bit more precise with this one. Now what I'm going to do now could really ruin everything, but I really want to see how this one plays with the green. So I'm going to grab the shade called Lola. Well, I will get this one from Sigma, which is the E42, which is the Precision Firm Blender. And the shade Lola for the outer corner. Because my theory actually was, yes, this is kind of a purple, but it's also kind of a reddish, dark, plummy, I don't know, purple. And maybe I thought maybe the red is more prominent than the purple, because red and green I can mix, red and purple not so much, or green and purple. This one though, I can. See, it turns darker, a lot darker actually. So that is nice. I don't know how it will perform with the lighter shades though of green. I'm going to build up that line here, then clean that brush. Oh, let's go to the previous, no, yeah, previous brush. Wow, that was the Morphe one. And then the brush before that, because it has a tiny bit of that darker color on it still. And then for funsies, let's go back to the lightest one, the shade called Trinity, the very first, and go over it higher. Okay, it is time for the shimmer, so let me get my glitter primer. Yes, and do I have a clean flat brush? No, but let's get this one anyway. So what I'm doing is the same thing I actually did yesterday, but then with a glitter primer. And basically carving it out. And I actually just, let me show you, I have the brush here, a tiny bit of glitter primer. I don't know if you can see, if it will focus, I hope so, but... And basically this is the amount that I use for my lid. So it's not a lot. And then first I kind of swipe it on my lid. And then I'm going to be precise. If I want to. And if I don't want to, I just tap. It's a great way to do a faux cut crease. Or actually a cut crease. Half cut crease? Yeah, I think so. Okay. Shimmer time. What was I... yes, I want to go to the shade called Kitty. I want to start with that. Oh, very pretty. Me likey. Okay, I'm going to go to the shade called Dallas. Yeah, just a tiny bit for the outer corner. Just for the last part. To kind of blend it a little bit better into the darker green. Oh, I love this. It's been so long since I've done a look like this. I'm going to go back to the color Jade, which was the darkest matte green. Just to help blend the edge here. This is one from Essence. It's one of the long lasting ones in the color I Have a Green. I'm going to go to the shade Kitty again. Yes. Then I'm going to take the shade called Crystal. And I'm going to put it on top in the inner corner. Just to brighten it up a bit. Cutesy cutesy. Well, this is the eye look so far. basically liner and mascara is next, isn't it? So let me put on liner mascara. Very cute. Okay, here's the look just before the falsies. Shall I do a green lip? I can. I haven't done that in ages either. Let's see if I have the correct green. No. Let me think about it. Let me put on, I can do that too. Let me put on my falsies, choose a lippy, and then I will be right back to show you the finished look. I hope. Yes. Choosing a lippy will be a thingy. Can I not? Done. Ooh. Here is the completed look. Falsies are the London style from Primark, and for lippy I actually pulled in my eyeliner because I needed a specific kind of green and I don't have it. My eyeliner, I lined my lips, filled it in a little bit, and then I put this one on top, Carroty, the matte in the color Matcha Gracias, and then you get kind of the matchiness. I like it. This was look number 2. Let me know down below what you think of it, and let's get ready for look number 3. The last look of the video, and I kind of want to start with the bottom. I don't know if it will be pretty what I have in mind, but yeah, I am going to start with an eye pencil. This is one from Catrice. It's in the color Absolute Graziness. I'm going to start with that. And because I have done, I really want to use, well, basically all the colors in the palette, but I have done so many grey looks lately that I kind of want to spruce it up and see if it's fun. I have here, what is it, from Morphe, the M560, which is small and has a denser tip. I'm going to go to the color called Destiny. I'm going to place that on top of the pencil. And it should kind of stick to the pencil, so I don't have to use a glitter primer. What I'm going to do now to kind of help against any fallout, itchy. Where is the brush that I want to use? Yeah, let's get you. I'm going to get the color called Bambi, and it's going to go underneath my eye, below the grey that I just put down. Because believe it or not, I forgot to set my under eyes. And I can use this shade for that. That actually worked very, very nicely. I don't really know what I want to do there, so I'm going to leave it. What was my plan next? I want green. Yes, I am going to go to the color called Chloe. So I'm going to see how the shade Chloe performs. So I have here my E33. And first I'm kind of going to place it lightly. This is probably going to take a little bit of work, because now I'm basically using the shade as I would. So setting my eye with itself, kind of blending at the same time. I kind of like this color combination, so that's good. And then lower in the crease, I'm going to pack it on a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to go to the color called Bambi. And I'm going to blend a little bit more, the edge a little bit more, because I don't like it if the shadow is up too high. And I do want to blend it out a bit more. So I use this shade. I could also grab my face powder. I do that a lot of the time as well. Or a face powder. I have a specific face powder that I have reserved for that purpose. Let's go to the shade called Trinity. I'm going to blend the edge a little bit more. This is a little bit, the shade I used before is a little bit of a bluer based green, and I sometimes have problems blending those shades out. Yeah, this is a bit better. Like so. Okay, I think I'm looking ridiculous. I hope my plan works, but I have no freakishly idea. Let's grab my NYX glitter primer. And a brush. Do I want to be precise? No, not really. So I'm going to grab a brush that is a bit more open. Okay. Then I'm going to go into the shade called Roxy. And that's going to go on the lid. Yes. I always kind of think it is weird when it stops, the darkness stops there. So I do want to bring it up a little bit. So I'm going to actually go into the color called Destiny. The same shimmer that I have on the bottom lid. And I'm going to bring it around. Is it dark enough? No. Okay. I was afraid of that, but I'm just kind of going to work it into the crease a little bit, just to give it something extra. And now I don't have any extra on my brush. I'm just dragging the shade forward. Yeah, I think that's fun. Okay, what do I want there? I think I'm going to go for the color called Gypsy. Let's see what happens when I spray the shade. Yeah, that is nice. Okay, then on the upper lid I'm going to go to the color called Chastity first. This one. And then I'm going to go to, where are you? That one. I think this is it so far. Let me put on liner and mascara. Everything is on, as you can see, and here is the final look. The falsies I have on are the ones that I got at Primark. Well, I usually wear those, but this is in the style Kylie. Yes, I needed to think a little bit, which are nice and spiky and a little bit open. And I thought, yeah, I want to wear these today. That's basically what I thought. The lippy I have paired it with is one from Ofra. It's a long-lasting liquid lipstick in the color Verona. I like the combination with the green. That's basically it. The rest that I have on my face will be down in the description box. Let me give you my final thoughts on the palette. I have said so in my first impression. I love the color story. That is why I bought it. And let's kind of go over what I think about the shades. Let's start with the mattes. I feel that the mattes work better on a set base. I am not really prone to setting my base. So yeah, it was kind of a learning curve for me, because usually I just plop it on a tacky base. But I have found out that these shades work better on a set base, with the exception of this one and this one. So these two you can really nicely use to set your base if you want to. But what I wanted to do today actually was a one-toned crease, because I really like to do those types of looks, and I used this shade. And yes, it was maybe a little bit of user error as well. I should probably have started with a bigger fluffy brush, then kind of tap it on and then gradually go smaller. But I also kind of wanted to use it the way that I usually use it. And the way that I usually use it, it kind of works, but it takes a very long time. And no one's got time for that, guys. I don't have time or energy a lot of the time to sit down and blend for 2 hours. So, yeah. If you are a beginner, I have heard someone say this is not a beginner palette. I kind of agree. But on the other hand, a lot of beginners start with a set base. So if you start with a set base, I don't think you will have any problem blending. But if you don't, if you are not prone to start with a set base, I suggest you do so. And then kind of, I don't know, you don't have to set your crease, but basically here where you kind of blend, you know, that part here, set there. And if you want to use, for instance, this shade or any other shade, you can set with this. If you want to work with the greens, you could use this one to set there, and then I don't think you will have any problem working with the shades. I think that they did layer nicely. I actually like the fact that I can use this shade to deepen up at least that shade even more. That means you can kind of play. Now, I haven't tried it using deepening up this one or this one, although this is a little bit of a bluer green, so I think it could work. If you were to have a problem getting it turning it muddy, it would be with this shade because it's a yellower green. If you want to be on the safe side but you really want to get it dark, if you have your green on, use this one, and then on top of that use this one to darken it up even more, like I did in the look look number 2. So those are the mattes. They work beautifully on a set base. That is my opinion. Side note, it did stay all day. So yesterday it was pretty warm. The day before that, no, yesterday was okay. The day before that it was pretty warm, and the shadows did stay on all day. So that is very, very good. I did not really have any creasing at the end of the day. Let's go to the shimmers then. The shimmers are gorgeous. They work very, very nice on top of a glitter primer. They work on their own. They work sprayed. I kind of tried them every which way. This is actually a shade that I really, really love, and I would love to smear on my entire eyelid. However, I did a lot of those types of looks in the last week and a half, so I was like, let's spruce it up a little bit, and that is why I went this route today, which I think is also really, really cool. Overall, yeah, she has some different shimmer formula. So these two are a little bit more maybe your traditional shimmers. I know some people would call these satins. I don't, because a satin for me is less shine than these have. So this for me is more of a traditional shimmer. Then these two are a little bit more intense, as you can see. And then this one is, oh, this one is so gorgeous. And then here you have more of your modern day shimmers, not specifically very foiled shades, but very nice and shimmery nonetheless. I really do like the color story. I think it is a color story that will not appeal to everyone. For me, as I have explained, I don't need it. A lot of the time I use any shade that I want as a transition shade, and I am not specifically looking for a brown in the palette. Could this have used it? Sure. You could have made this one a very deep dark brown, but I actually really like that this shade is in here. And again, you can use it to deepen up the other shades. If you are not sure, try it on your hand first, you know, blend the two together that you want to blend. If you think that they are turning muddy, pull in the darker green first. What I also really like is the fact that the greens have different tones, but you can make a complete monochromatic look if you want to. So this darker green is a little bit more of a, almost a grayer green. I think I named it a neutral green once, but it is a dark green. When I look at it, it's a dark green, but when I use it, it kind of has a gray base. And these two shimmers also have that same grayer green tone, so you can do a very cute dramatic, yes, but also a monochromatic look, which I actually did in the second look. You can, this is the yellow green, this is the yellow green shimmer, and then here you have the bluer green and a bluer green shimmer, and then this is a bluer gray, a lighter gray, basically a darker steel gray, a lighter steel gray, then the white, and then you have these two. So you can go, I don't know, you can do so many. I think I could have done 5 looks easily. I just don't have the time. So yeah, you get 4 looks in total. I did a first impression and then 3 looks in this video. I will use it more often. I want to do a collab with my friend Leora, because I know that she has ordered this palette as well. And I think a face-off will be very, very nice. Just so you know. So yeah, I think you can do everyday soft looks. Like I showed in the first look that I did in the video. You can go very dark and dramatic and grungy like I did in the last look or in the middle look. And then you can kind of go like this. You can make a happy, I don't know, springy green look if you want to as well, by just using this one, maybe deepen it up with this a little bit and then put that one on your lid, you know, that way you have a happy green look. So I think you can go a lot of ways with this palette. I'm very happy that I have it, and I know that she's working on another palette. This is one of 7. And I cannot wait to see what she does next. Is the palette worth the money? I think it is. It's 35 Australian dollars. I know that she's working on kind of having more than one currency on her site, but if you want to know what it is in your currency, just use the Google valuta or exchange rate, you know, use something like that and you kind of get a ballpark on what it will cost for you. For me, the palette was around 20 euros, which I don't think is a bad price. Shipping wasn't bad either at all. Actually, it was cheaper than me having to ship something to the UK, just saying. And it took under 2 weeks for me to get. So that is also a plus. Yeah, I hope that the tips I gave you in the review part and during the looks help as well. Let me know down below if you have the palette. Let me know if you want the palette. This is going to be it for my multiple looks and review of the Lucky Bunny Envy palette. Let me know down below what you thought of this. Let me know if you have a favorite look. And then that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'm going to wish you a fantastic day, a fabulous evening. Stay safe, stay healthy, try to stay sane. And I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye guys.